Hi, and welcome to VR for non-gamers. In this episode, I will give you my feedback of the top of VR headsets at the moment. I've tested all of them for you this week, so that's the Pimax 8KX, the XTAL, Varjo, and Pico 4K. And if you don't want to wait for the conclusion, this is a list, the order of which I consider that the best headset would be the Pimax 8KX, then the XTAL, then Varjo, and then Pico or Pico 4K. So what I will not be covering in this episode would be the sound, because it was a lot of noise over there, and I don't think all the headset had sound, or at least was not focused on the sound at all. Mura is when if you have a uniform blue screen that you would see some part a bit darker and about a bit with a bit more light blue. Because I didn't notice on any of the headset any Mura, and the same thing with distortion. I didn't notice any distortion on any of the headset. So let's start with Pimax 8KX. I would say that I tested it with Aerofly FS2, so it's a flight simulation, and the visual looks very good. So I was able to read absolutely everything on the dashboard. Everything looks very sharp. The colors were good, but I wasn't able to test all the dark colors, so it was very light in the cockpit and outside. But it was still looking absolutely amazing. It's 4K display. In terms of comfort, so it was a good comfort, but they're still working on the housing around the headset, so it should be even better. One thing I've noticed with this one is when looking at light colors like white or light blue, I was still be able to see the pixel. Not much I was able to see the screen door effects. It's basically, screen door effect would be to see a dark line of a black line between the pixel, but I was still seeing each individual pixel with some contrast in between when I was looking at colors like white. So then I also tested the XTAL. Also looks very good. So it has like first thing you notice is it has 180-degree field of view horizontally, which is better than the Pimax 8KX that I was testing with 150, because it's also the Pimax 8KX was running on a laptop with a 2080, so it was also maybe limited to what it could do with a 2080 Ti. But the XTAL was also visually very good. I was also able to read anything that I wanted. It has also eye tracking with foveated rendering, so eye tracking with dynamic foveated rendering. Was looking good. I was seeing slightly a bit more the pixels than on the 8KX in this term, but it has of course a lower resolution than the 8KX, and they're also working on a new headset that should be coming in the few months that would contain normally I think twice the number of pixels. So in this case, maybe because also Pimax 8KX is not released yet, you may want to check again in a few months. In terms of comfort, I found it was quite a bit uncomfortable, and that's because the plastic around the lenses was also touching a bit my forehead. So I had very hard time to find a comfortable position, and I think that if you wear glasses, that could be also a problem with this headset. Then I also tested the Varjo. Varjo is a Swedish company that has a special technique is to have two screens, one very high definition screen where you focus, that is moving to where your eyes are focused on. So you have indeed also a solution with eye tracking. In terms of comfort, I didn't notice any problems that much. I would say that on a lot of headsets like Varjo XTAL and Pimax 8K, I also had at the beginning a lot of time to try to find what is my my stereoscopic view, and to have a good stereoscopic view that I'm not normally have problems on my Oculus Rift or Oculus Go and so on. So yeah, visually I was also able to read any text because it follows your eyes while you're reading. you kind of see of a halo, so you kind of see the difference between both screens, because there's like a orange line in between or something like this. And also something that also surprised me a bit for the Varjo is I was still able to see the pixels. So that means I'm pretty sensitive to screen door effects, and that's what I thought. So. And then also the Pico 4K visually looks also pretty good, a bit less than the other headset, because I think it's just one 4K screen, but it's more like to compete with the Oculus Go, and it's basically Oculus Go with better resolution. I would say maybe, I don't know, 1.5 or 50% more or 80% better resolution. In terms of comfort, was okay. The battery is now on the back of your head, so it balances a bit more the weight. One drawback of the headset is that less software than a shorter library than you can have on the Oculus Go. So, conclusion again, if you stay for the whole video, what do we have now? One of the things is that the state of virtual reality now is that for all the new headset, we have readable text. That means wherever you look, if you look in a cockpit or maybe some games where you have to read text, it should be readable text. The other thing is you see still more eye tracking coming, so it's a technology that is coming more and more to the new headset. So hopefully this will help to get lower specs for your GPU. And something that surprised me is that on each headset I was still being able to see the pixels. And maybe the best one was the Pimax 8KX, because then it was only on white or light blue colors in this case. Well, thank you for watching, and see you next time.